All right. So, for those of you joining, this is just a really good kind of quick, and I'm going to say quick, I'm going to use that loosely because we'll probably be here for about half hour, maybe a little bit longer, because it depends on how deep dive that we go with some of the information. But I did a little presentation so we could basically more to keep me on track, but to also just, make it nice and pretty and give you some good information that's on here. I'm also using Canva. I don't know if anybody uses Canva. I love Canva, canva.com. This is how I create all my imagery and everything too. But they also I was creating slides in there for the slideshow, and then they have a present button. So I was like, oh, let's try presenting it from Canva this morning. So that's what we're doing too. I don't know if we're live on Facebook, but if we are, we'll figure that out at the end. I cannot tell. And if we are, we're on our team page. So hi, teams in it to win it. So welcome to ONEHOPE. We are super excited to have you here. I'm excited to have you jump in, Teresa and Lori. I think Lori's pretty new as well. Oh, that's weird. So just to get to know a little bit about ONEHOPE. ONEHOPE, we are a Napa Valley winery, and we do have a tasting room that's opening in 2020. ONEHOPE began in 2007 with a group of 8 friends who wanted to make an impact. I think a lot of the friends all worked together at Gala Wine, and when you work at a big wine company or anything that deals with retail, you're always going into the stores and going in and out of the stores, and so in October, everything turned pink for breast cancer, and then November 1st, everything went back to the normal color. So, their whole intention was, well, why can't we just give back 365 days a year? So they decided to start ONEHOPE Wine. There's a great little story, and they have some great videos on that as well. I'm going to post a video today from ONEHOPE's YouTube channel called This Is a Tree. And Roxanne posted it in our team page yesterday. But it's kind of the story of ONEHOPE, but it really makes you realize what a difference that we actually do make from selling wine. Who knew that it could have such a big impact, but it does. ONEHOPE can be found in retail locations across the United States. As you mentioned, Teresa, you've bought it at Total Wine. There's other, liquor stores, grocery stores, hotel chains, etc., that carry ONEHOPE. ONEHOPE is distributed to those outlets. It all goes through something called the 3-tier system. So ONEHOPE has to sell their product to a distributor that has to sell it to the end retailer. So when anything's going to retail, it's kind of like a alcohol law or how they have to do that. So what we do is different. And what we do also, we have different wines that we sell through to our consumers. So a lot of the wines that you'll see in the retail location will still have these little dots on the label. We call this our core collection. So you might see like the core Chardonnay, the Cabernet, the Pinot Noir that are in some of the retail locations. That's a different wine than what we sell in our Vintner collection. And what we sell is our Vintner collection, which is just the white label. We also do have some of the core collection available, but just a few limited varietals on the core collection. And some of the bigger places that you may have seen us, or some of your soon-to-be customers have seen us. Here in Southern California, there's a 5-star resort called Terranea Resort in Rancho Palos Verdes. We're the house wine at Terranea, so everybody knows our sparkling and our Chardonnay and our Cabernet. And again, those are the core collection ones, but it's a good thing to know. Like for me, I live in Southern California, so if people have been to Terranea, then they know the quality of the wine, and everybody's like, oh my God, I love it. The MGM Resort has our wine, and Topgolf serves our wines as well across their brands across the US. As I was saying, our Vintner collection is exclusive to online sales and what CEs sell. We are our own winery. So ONEHOPE, we make our own wine. We don't outsource it from somebody else and put their label on it. We make our own wine. Our 3 winemakers are Rob Mondavi Jr., Tony Coltrane, and Mari Wells Coyle. Mari is on staff with us full time, so she's always here. She is a great source of information. Every Tuesday on her Facebook page, she does Tuesdays at 10:30. She does a great like Q&A. She'll take us out into the vineyard. She'll show us the bud break. She'll explain that to us. She'll do a little deep dive on some of the wines. She just did some little wine videos that just launched yesterday to help us with virtual trainings and virtual tastings, so we can pop those into a Zoom like this and share that 1 minute little quick, get to know our Cabernet information. Rob Mondavi Jr., his name is on the back of every bottle along with Mari's, because he is our collaborative winemaker. So him and Mari will be in there, figuring out the wines. He helps create the wines. My dog made some weird noise. So he started working with ONEHOPE back in, I think it was 2010. Was like, hey, we love your concept. We think that this is great. We'd love to help you with, wine and wine production and getting this stuff and making your wine better, because even the founders will tell you when they started, their wine was not that good. It was like, all right, but it gives back. Like, Tiffany told us one time at a crush, she was like, well, I went into this restaurant and this guy was like, oh, this wine is not good. And she's like, so does that mean you just want 2 cases instead of 4? She always leads with like positivity, right? And it's like, because it gives back to breast cancer. So, I think he did end up buying something. I'm not really sure, but sure she'll tell us that story again. But in the meantime, if you've tried the wine, it's fantastic. I happen to really like it. I am not a person who likes not good wine. I don't know how to say it. Like the $2 chuck is not my scene. So, I think our wine is really good, and people are pleasantly surprised when they have our wine and at a tasting, or even when they buy it. I just sold a half a case to one of my friends in Georgia, and she got it and she's like, oh my God, I really like this wine. She's like, I was pleasantly surprised. So she bought another case. So I was like, all right, that's good. The great thing about our stuff is every wine product, every kitchen product that we have is all wrapped around a cause. So every single product has a cause partner to it. So no matter what you purchase from ONEHOPE, and a wine or a kitchen product or a gift set, there is a nonprofit partner attached to it. We have award-winning wines with over 90 points. I think we have 7 or 8 of them. We partner with over 30 different nonprofits. And then our wine ranges in price anywhere from $20 to $125. So very affordable.
Hey, Tracy, can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So it said here that the Vintner collection is exclusive to online sales and what CEs can sell, but I can sell more than just the Vintner collection, right? I mean, I saw like the Reserve collection and the state wines and things like that online. Is that all part of my portfolio that I can?
Yep, it's all part of your portfolio. For there, I was just making, so this Vintner collection will not be sold in stores.
I see.
But something that may have a dot label on it, which is our core collection, could be sold in stores. So that's
I can also sell them though.
Different, yeah. But we can also sell what we have. So anything that's on our website definitely is for sale and what you can share with people.
Okay, and only the core collection is what is available through stores. Yeah.
So sometimes you'll see people say like, oh, I just saw like this core collection at this store, and not really here, like on the West Coast, there's not a huge store present. More of maybe the South and the East Coast have a bigger store presence, and then it's the dot labels. dot labels or core collection is what we call them. And, you know, we also just say, like, it's good brand marketing, because if people like it, then they're going to get the ONEHOPE email, or they're going to look up ONEHOPE and they're going to like ONEHOPE on Facebook. And hopefully it drives them back to you as a local cause entrepreneur to host a wine tasting, or to do corporate gifting, or to connect with you somehow to purchase more wine.
Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. So as a cause entrepreneur, what I always like to say is that they created our channel, the direct sales channel, so we can dive deeper into our communities to help hosts give back to their cause of choice. We sell to the end user, and we cannot sell to anybody who resells the product. So we are not allowed to go to sell to anybody that has an alcohol license that's going to resell it. So no liquor stores, no hotels, no restaurants, nothing like that. And I kind of set that tone up front, because a lot of people aren't sure, like, oh, I can go and sell at this restaurant that I go to all the time. I'd love to have their wine there. You could certainly introduce them to ONEHOPE if you would like, but they have to buy through a distributor, so it doesn't really do us too much good. But what we do is we host tastings, either in person, or nowadays it'll be virtual. We can do gifting for personal gifts, corporate gifting, custom etching on shimmers and crates. We can work with nonprofits to have ongoing giving through a link like on their website. Kind of think of it as like an Amazon smile, but like a wine smile kind of concept. You can do wine for weddings and events. So there's just a whole plethora of stuff. It's not just what has to be like at an in-person or virtual tasting. However, I will let you know, like, when you do them in person or virtual and you have a group of people together, that is where you make more of your impact and where you make more of your income. So it's kind of like the cheese and crackers of your business. So this is, we are, like I said, a ONEHOPE winery. This is the picture up here on the right-hand side is the estate that is on the winery. So there's an estate 8 with like 8 better master suites, because 8 is the symbol of the company. Estate 8, it started with 8 people, 8 founders of the company. It's an awesome, very, very cool winery. We're right on the heart of the Napa Valley Wine Trail on Highway 29. We are kitty corner from Cake Bread, right up the road from the iconic Robert Mondavi estate. That's good information to know. I'm going to drop these slides down into our team page too, so if you want to share that on your social or anything too, you can. Because it really means a lot when people know that we have an actual winery and then we can go there. The winery, the wine tasting room is scheduled to open late spring of 2020. I don't know what the plans are right now for that. They'll keep us surprised on that. Everything that's done in Napa pretty much is you have to have reservations to go there. It's a private winery, so it's not open to the public per se. You can't just drive up and walk in. You know, there's different ways, and once the winery, the tasting room gets open, they'll let us know too as cause entrepreneurs, like how we can visit and stuff as well. One thing that we have going right now is we have some incentives that if you reach the director level by the end of, I think it's June, or is it July? I'll have to look up the date for sure. If you reach director level in the compensation plan, then you're invited to the winery for the harvest party at the end of September. And I know the home office is going through a bunch of that information on a training on the 14th, on Tuesday. So Lori or Teresa, do you guys have any questions so far about?
I think some of my questions are more logistics stuff, so I'll wait, I think, for the end. I'm getting a good kind of overview on basic stuff. So no, I think this is, I don't have any questions from the material you went over already.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, we're going to get into much more logistic stuff right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I just like to give the history and kind of like the lay the lay of the land with OneHope first when everybody's starting.
No, for sure. Yeah, I'm from the kind of the Napa region, so it's helpful to actually, wine, the relationship we have with wine being from like wine country is really transparent, and being able to like go to the winery or see where the grapes are grown, like that's really important to a lot of people from like, Northern California. And so it's good that we actually have like a location and we're not just sourcing wine from all over the States and bottling it somewhere in a warehouse and shipping it out. It's nice that we have a location.
Yeah, and we do, and so on that note too, we do have about 40 different wines that we have. We have some that are estate grown specific, that you'll see either iconic label on or the estate 8 label on in our catalog and in our portfolio. We do have wines from other regions too. So we do have a Russian River Valley Pinot Noir. We have a Monterey Pinot. We have different things from there, but most of our stuff, if it's not an appellation specific or an AVA specific, then it is sourced in and around the Napa area. We also try to partner with people that don't use Roundup or any glycophosates, I don't know how you say that word exactly, on their property too.
Oh,
and,
wow. Okay.
In our property, Mari on our community page, and there's a blog that you should check out too that I can repost that talks about our sustainability and what we do as a winery. Because I know a lot of people have questions on that.
Yeah.
We can't say that we're organic. We can't say that we're vegan. We can't say any of that information, but Mari gives us information to go by and what to say and how to like talk about it.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah. So as people that are joining OneHope, the majority of us are doing this because we want to make an income and we want to make an impact. So at the beginning of every month, we all start at 0 on the books, and it's kind of like, okay, what am I going to do this month? What is my goal? What do I need to do? I always like to say, remember to keep your why in mind for joining. It may change. It may be like, first I joined because I was like, oh, well, yeah, why would I not want to do this? Like, this sounds fun. Then I'm like, oh, I can really make money at this. Okay, I'm going to do this to make a car payment. Now I'm like, oh, if I just hit $1,500 every month and I have a team and I can make downline commissions on team from mentoring and coaching, then yeah, why can't I pay my rent each month too? So, your goals will change over time depending on what it is. Just make sure, you figure out what your goal is, write it down, and then backtrack out of there. Like, if you need to make $300, how much will you need to sell? And then there's additional ways to build a team and earn downline commissions as well. And we'll go through some of that information. Well, maybe I should have this slide first. Anyway, we're talking about making an income right now. So our commission structure. So commission is 20% on all sales from $1 to $1,499 in PCV. Once you hit $1,500 in PCV, you'll make 25% commission. And that is, let's say you hit $1,501 in PCV on the 20th of the month. Well, when we get paid out on the 1st, that's retroactive to the 1st of the month. So even if you hit it anytime during the month, you'll get a 5% pay raise on your past commissions that you may have been paid out for already as well. So there'll be times that we'll say like, hey, Teresa, you're only like a case away from, hitting $1,500. Like, don't leave that extra 5% of money on the table, like go get it. So PCV is your personal commissionable volume of the product. So each product has its own retail. So this bottle of Vintner wine is $25. If somebody goes to my website or through an event link and buys one bottle of wine at $25, I make commission on the $25 price. If they put this into a 6-pack of wine, a half a case, then we make 85%. We make commission on 85% of the price. And they have these, and basically what we normally sell and what you'll start to see is we normally sell half cases and full cases and gift set items. We're not I don't think a lot of us are onesies and twosies wine people. Sometimes at a wine event, people will want to buy, I'll just want to buy 1 bottle or 2 bottles, but it's not a lot. And so why the commission is 85% on a half case, or the PCV is 85% on a half case or 80% on a full case, is because there's also that built-in cause partner that's getting their portion of it that is factored into the dollar amount. And Chris will probably go through this more. Chris Whitaker, who is our field development training manager, she'll probably go through all this more on Tuesday, April the 14th. She's doing a overview of the whole compensation plan. So I highly recommend everybody check that one out. Any gift sets that we sell is at 66% PCV, and that's because the majority of the gift sets have the box, the stuffing, the hard goods in it that you have to be accountable for, that we can't get 100% like commission on those either. So there's other items in there. But anything that's not discounted and bought through your OneHope website or an event link is at 100% PCV. So every month, besides figuring out your monthly goal, what we like to have people achieve is to qualify at $300 in PCV. So your PCV, might fluctuate each month. It could be 2 cases of wine that you need to sell to hit 300. It could be 4 half cases of wine. It just depends on, what you're going for and what you're selling. But you qualify when you hit $300 in PCV. And if you're a new CE listening to this and you're in your fast start right now, because this is April of 2020, if you have not qualified yet and you're still in your fast start phase, which I think both Lori and Teresa on this call are, then you will, when you qualify, and typically it's within your first 30 days, but right now they just switched this out, then you will earn a free host kit. So it's another good thing to qualify, because then as soon as you earn that free host kit, that's 6 bottles of wine that'll come to you that you can gift to a host. You can use them for yourself to host a wine tasting. It's just up to you. You earn free host kit. So we also like to say, don't leave money on the table and don't leave free wine on the table either, because we all like the free wine. So $300 PCV is the first level, and that will unlock your wine cellar, your CE wine cellar. And if you have a team below you, it'll start to generate your downline commission. And again, Chris is going to go through a whole training on the compensation plan, so I'm not going to dive deep on that. But if you want to talk one-on-one or anything too, we can do that as well. And yeah, this brings me into her Gather to Go training. We'll review the compensation plan this Tuesday, April 14th. You can find this information. It'll be posted in the OneHope community page, as well as on the calendar in our resource section from your CE dashboard. So if you have just started with OneHope, you are in your fast start phase. So fast start period is the month you joined plus the 3 full months after you joined. So Teresa, if you joined in March, then you still have April, May, and June as your fast start period. So what fast start is that's an opportunity for you to really fast track your income potential, as well as to get you focused on your business. So there's a whole section, and if you have your starter kit, in the starter kit, there's a welcome workbook that breaks down some of the fast start information. And I'll also show you in the resources where you can get that information as well. But it is time, fast start is for you to add team members and then add preferred customers. So when you add a new team member, plus you add 3 preferred customers, that creates a bunch, and that gives you $120. 3 bunches equal a cluster, which equals $320 in your fast start phase. And then if you get a cluster, for every cluster, they'll double it. So it'll be $720 during your fast start. A thing to note during right now for April 2020, a team member joining, they have to purchase the $149 or the $199 kit for it to count. They cannot join with the $29 or the $99 business bundle when it goes back to that. They have to purchase wine with their kit in order for that to count. And PCs also have to purchase either a half case or 12 bottles, which is a full case of wine, to count for a PC membership. But PC membership is free this month when they order 6 or 12, so there's no reason why they wouldn't join as a preferred customer. Some important reminders, logistic-wise, our system is set on Central Standard Time. So the cutoff for placing orders and having them count towards your current month's sales is midnight on the last night of the month. I would like to say, let's do it on midnight the day before the last day of the month. And a reason why is because it just says recognition, title, and current rank update on the first day of each month, and it can take up to 3 days to reflect because the system's doing their little calculations. So that last day of the month, everybody's going for promotions. Everybody's trying to get their PCV in. I may be calling you. I mean, we're in network marketing. That's kind of how it works. People will be like, oh, Teresa, I see that you're like, a bottle of wine away from qualifying, like, and I might have to be like, I might call or text and be like, did you order a bottle of wine? Did you not? Because that last day of the month, for some reason, our system just doesn't update as frequently. And so like last month, everybody was going for the Mexico promotion incentive trip, which we're not going on because no one can go to Mexico in the month of April, but still people were earning it and trying to get there. And it was like, for us, we're like, oh my gosh, like, Stella, did you get this? Did you get this? Like, where are you at? Like, where are you at? Like, so we can, so it's always good. It's just a good rule of thumb too, not to wait till the last minute. We all do it. But like, we can try to at least get to your qualification period the day before the last day of the month. I think that's just a good rule of thumb. And that's from our back office. Yeah, and the PC, your group volume or organizational volume, all that updates every 2 hours. So it's not always instantaneously. So it might be like, okay, let's wait. Let's see if that's on there. Where am I at now with PCV when you're going for your goals as well?
It's weird that it's on Central Standard Time if the winery is based in Napa, right?
Yeah, it's the system that we use. So we have 2 different systems right now that are going on. So we have ONEHOPEWine.com and then our back office, our CE back office, which is, we also refer to it as the Trinity system. We're getting to merge the 2. ONEHOPEWine.com is building out a whole new set for us. So eventually we won't have to use our CE back office, but that system is based in Dallas. And that system is based in the Central Time Zone. So there will be certain times that if we have a promotion running, in the Vine, it'll indicate like this promotion ends at such and such time, Pacific Standard Time. But typically it's just good to get in the habit of thinking it's Central Time. So it's 2 hours different from where we are. And eventually it will probably all switch over, but for right now, it's just based on Central Time. So now we're going to go into how we make an impact. So I kind of briefly said this before, but we make an impact by hosting wine tastings in person or virtual. OneHope Corporate just dropped down some virtual aids for us yesterday that I think they sent out in an email, or it's on the community page. We can do gifts, personal gifts. It's a great time right now in April to be like, hey, send this cute little baby gift to someone that just had a baby. Or the second picture up there is called our foodie box. I renamed it the happy hour in a box. and be like, send somebody a happy hour in a box, get on a Zoom chat. You know, it's $59. It's like super cute, makes an impact. It's awesome. There's ways that you can do corporate gifting, bottle etching on our shimmer bottles or on our crates. It's also very cool and something fun to do. And again, we can work with nonprofits to have ongoing giving campaigns with them. Right now, a lot of them are probably looking for extra ways to earn, to get some income and donations, because, you know, most of them do galas and events and auctions and everything in the spring, and everybody's kind of at a halt on that. So it's good to reach out to some that you have, maybe you've already worked with or that you know, or ask friends what they know too. And then of course, wine for weddings and events, which we all know are kind of on hold right now, but that doesn't mean that somebody can't do a custom etching bottle, send it to all their friends for their birthday, or just send them all a gift or something too. There's just a plethora of different ways to do that. When we are doing a wine tasting, which is kind of the basis of everything that we do, whether it is online or in person. This one kind of goes for more person one. In your starter kit, you received a host planner. It's the teal colored brochure. Read through that information. It pretty much tells you everything that you need to know about hosting a wine tasting and something to share with your hosts. But basically how it goes is the host will book a date. They will select their cause of choice to give back to. It can be any 501c3. Pretty much anything is eligible for that, just as long as it's not like, you can't give back to like a political campaign or anything like that, but they're not, I don't think, registered as that anyway. All the hosts will invite their guests to a wine tasting fundraiser, or like, you know, a wine and wellness night or something, however they want to craft it. Just know that every single wine tasting that you do is a fundraiser. So there always should be a cause linked to what that fundraiser is. And I always like to host coach and say to the host that you need to tell your hosts to let their guests know that it is a fundraiser, so they are not just thinking, oh, I'm just coming for a wine tasting and I don't have to buy anything. So I kind of should know that. Hosts typically purchase the wine. They purchase a host kit at 40% off. And the 40% off is on the Vintner collection of wines. So if they were to do 6 bottles of Vintner collection, it's $89.99. $10 shipping is $99. So that's what you'll see on your host codes and host credits that are in the back office when you earn them too. Also too, if you earn a host kit, you know, those are meant to either you host your own wine tasting or to gift to somebody to host a wine tasting to help you start your business to kind of like take off on that. Each tasting has to reach, well, the goal, a qualified tasting is $500 in sales. And then once it's $500 in sales, it'll give back 10% of qualified purchases. And the host will start to earn host rewards. I have that on my next slide. Yeah. So a qualified event, $500 in sales. Any sales that are through the event link count towards qualifying. So even if somebody buys a single bottle of wine or 2 bottles of wine, that counts towards qualifying the party at $500 in sales. But single bottle purchases or 2 or 3 bottle purchases do not count towards 10% give back to the host cause of choice. So what does give back though is cases, half cases, mixed packs, our wine club, and gift sets, and then mini brutes, which is a little case of mini brutes. They count as a gift set, they give back too. So typically at a wine tasting, and what we promote the most are cases and half cases, the mixed packs, or the wine club. That's kind of what we're doing to build when we're at a tasting, because we're like, this is your case for a cause, your case of wine, 10% of your case will go back to the host cause of choice, or, you know, mix and match your own wines. In this case, all of our cases are mix and matchable, so they can put in, you know, 3 red blends, a peach, a prosecco, and a Sauvignon Blanc, so they can mix their own cases of wine. Did you have a question, Teresa?
Yeah. So this is a little different than my original understanding was. So, doing a wine event, if you're calling it, whatever it is you're calling it, you're hosting a wine tasting fundraiser. I was under the impression that 10% of all wine sales from that event go to the charity of the host's choice. But this is saying that it's only if it reaches $500, A, and B, only purchases of half cases, mixed packs, that kind of stuff, not single bottles. And I'm just curious as to why that is, because, it seems like you're losing out on some kind of potential. It seems kind of like a little, I don't know, if I'm selling it to a host, it's a little harder of a sale. I feel like if I'm selling it to a host and I say, hey, gather your friends, and 10% of everything that you and your friends purchase go to the cause of your choice. But then also I have all these disclaimers that you guys need to be buying half cases or more, and it's only if you reach $500, especially during this time when gathering larger groups is not as feasible.
So let me just so I've been doing this for 5.5 years. I used to have my parties have to hit $1,000 in sales. It was no problem. Also, so the $500 number is very intimidating. I actually would like it to say $500 in credits, or $500 credits or something like that instead, because that's a little bit, and then every dollar equals a credit or something like that. So $500 in sales is actually 4 half cases of wine, or 2 cases of wine with like a glitter upgrade in it. So it's really not that crazy amount of wine or crazy amount of sales. I know it sounds like it, but the thing is too, like, they don't give back the 10% to on single bottles or 1s or 2s, because then that's all you would end up selling. You get a much better deal, and I'm going to go into what our deals are when you buy a case or a half case on the next slide. So that might ease your mind a little bit, and might be like, oh, okay, yeah, like that's not as bad as what I thought it was. That makes sense?
Yeah, I'm not as concerned with the $500 because I think it's pretty normal to have a certain, it makes sense to me now that I'm thinking about it. I mean, I've done fundraisers before, and it's like, it's really only sometimes, quote, worth it to give, a check to a charity that's, if it's higher than freaking $20 or something like that. But I guess, yeah, it's that single bottle doesn't act toward that. I feel like it could belittle someone's trying to contribute to the cause. Maybe they don't really like wine, or maybe, they didn't really like our wine, and it's like, oh, I'll just buy a couple bottles, and then their purchase doesn't contribute.
So their purchase won't contribute towards 10% of the cause, but their purchase will contribute to whatever cause is partnered with the bottle. So if they decided to buy a bottle of Cabernet and a bottle of Chardonnay, it will fund autism therapy plus breast cancer clinical trials. Plus their purchase will go back towards the host, towards that $500 goal. It just won't give back to her 10%, but it will give the host more money for her or him for their host rewards. Because the total 10% of the host rewards is based on the total of the event sales, not just the qualified products. And really, like, so let me go to this next slide too, because you're gonna, and so if somebody doesn't, I have a little thing on the bottom too. If the party does not qualify at $500 in sales, 10% of the qualified items can still be given back to a OneHope cause of choice. So if somebody doesn't hit $500 and they're at like $385 and you close out the party, you know, if let's say it was all eligible for 10%, $38 would still go back to one of the 32, I think we have 32 or 33 different OneHope nonprofit partners that the host can select that money can go back to. So probably the reason that we say cases and half cases, because we used to call it case for a cause. So if somebody is purchasing a case of wine or half case of wine, that typically would be about $150 without any discounts. If that person signs up to be a preferred customer program is $19.99 a year. That gives the person 10% off 6 bottles, 20% off 12 bottles, $10 shipping on 6 or 12 bottles, exclusive wines and discounts for the year. And then every purchase that the preferred customer makes will donate 10% to a cause that they select. And that includes single bottles through their preferred customer account, not through a party though, because there's kind of like two different things. So an event only cases, half cases, mixed pack, and wine club and gift sets give back 10%, which is a pretty full scope of stuff. It's not very often either too that I have people at a tasting that only want to buy 1 or 2 bottles of wine. And sometimes if that happens, then it's those people buying 3 and then they're best friends with them and they buy 3 and they go in together on a half case. So, and then one of them joins as a preferred customer for $19.99 a year. And then they get 10% off those 6 bottles. So those 6 bottles that were $150 are now $135. And then they automatically start to get $10 shipping on that instead of $20 shipping too.
If people become a preferred customer, if they want to sign up to become a preferred customer at the event to get the sale price, does the sale price go toward the 500 or does the
sale?
If okay.
Yeah, because that's what's going to be registered. And so that's kind of what our goals is too, is to get preferred customers with the hopes that they're going to, they are going to get emails from OneHope. They are going to get exclusive discounts. They are going to get 10% off 6 bottles, 20% off 12 bottles, and $10 shipping for the next 364 days if they join today. And it's $20 for the year, so it totally pays for itself in just that first transaction. The preferred customer program is not, I repeat, is not a wine club. It is not a subscription. That's like its own standalone program. However, you have to be a preferred customer in order to enroll in the wine club or subscribe and save. Right now in the month of April, you actually get anybody that buys a case or half case of wine gets automatic free membership to preferred customer program in April. Plus, if you're joining the quarterly wine club or subscribe and save, you're also going to get free shipping. So it's a lot of people like that's, and once you have subscribe and save or the wine club, you get free shipping on any case or half case for the next 364 days as well. So if you want to order a case of wine in between your quarterly wine club shipments, you're going to get free shipping on that. Plus, if there's any discounts, you're going to get the discounts as well. So like right now in April, we have a amazing sale going on. So anybody that is a preferred customer gets 30% off 12 bottles and 15% off 6 bottles. So it's a really good deal right now to get some wine. The quarterly wine club is just that. It is a quarterly wine club. It is shipped every quarter. So if somebody joins today, April just started the new quarter. So if somebody joined today, then their next wine club shipment would come in July on the day that they joined. Subscribe and save. You've probably seen this a lot too. Like if you shop Amazon, they have a subscribe and save. Like you can just have your toilet paper automatically delivered to your house, or your toilet paper might not be a good example right now. Um, you can have your, your kitty litter or something, every month or however you subscribe to it. Do that too, because that just saves you on shipping. And then for this, you can customize it. So when somebody shops through an event, or if they're at a tasting, if they enroll in the wine club or the subscribe and save, their first initial purchase counts towards 10% towards that event. So Teresa, if you're having an event and you're supporting the ASPCA, and I'm at your event and I join the wine club, my first wine club shipment, my 10% of my 156, so $15 would go towards your cause, plus the 156 price would go towards your overall total for your host. That 156 price would also go to me on my preferred customer side of things, as one of my purchases as a preferred customer, because then preferred customers get to choose like my wine club was already designated towards your ASPCA, but at the end of the year, if I keep my other wine clubs keep coming and I buy some gifts along the way, whatever hasn't been designated towards 10% back at an event, I get to choose at the end of the year where that extra 10% gets to go. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yeah. So, if I host a party and say a few of the people who are at the party end up becoming a wine club members, the first shipment goes to the event fundraiser. Mm-hmm. And then everything after that goes toward the collective of their annual purchases. They get 10%, they get to pick one. So it's not double dipping that first shipment. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Same with the subscribe and save. Because maybe that first one that they want to give back to you, but then the next one, like, oh, they're going to purchase more wines throughout the year. So that way it's like, oh, well, at the end of the year, they can be like, oh, now I have, and we send little notes, and us as cause entrepreneurs can see in our back office that it could be like, oh, look, you have, $100 now. Where would you like to donate that to? And OneHope will send them emails to be like, you can pick one of OneHope's causes, or if they've purchased $500 or more that year, then it unlocks it so they can give back to any 501c3.
Okay. And does it prompt the wine membership, or does it prompt that person to do that at the end of the year, or is it per purchase, or how does it?
It does it at the end of the year.
Okay. And it'll prompt them.
Yeah. And then there's ways that they can go in and change it throughout the year too. And I'll show you that as well. Okay. And another good thing about being a cause entrepreneur is that you're automatically a preferred customer. So even if you are shopping the sale or doing your own shopping, you're a preferred customer. If you join the wine club, which I highly recommend everybody join the wine club, because it's fun to get. Two, there's great wines in there. We have an exclusive cab this month that I think I'm going to join the wine club again next month, just so I can have another bottle of the Cabernet, because it's literally the only way you can get it. It's not available for single bottle sales. But like, I want to try one like maybe a year from now too. Some of my bigger cabs, I like to just leave and wait for a while. Or not even drink them. I don't know.
So for the subscribe and save, they get to mix and match their shipments. Yeah. But for the quarterly wine club membership, it's a selected, curated selection from the winemaker.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if it's in our new catalog. Yeah. So every quarter there will be it's a specific 6 bottles of wine. There's 2 reserves. There's 3 reserves in here. So normally the wine club, that's why I say it's the best value. It normally has a couple reserves in here. This is 6 bottles of wine at 20% off. where typically you only get 10% off 6 bottles of wine, or right now during the sale, 15% off. So it's a better value. Plus there's free shipping, plus there's free PC membership. So for $156, it's a great deal. You know, it's pretty amazing. Also, there are certain states that don't pay tax on alcohol. I'm originally from Iowa, so when I ship stuff back to my house in Iowa, I don't have to pay tax on it. So it's like, it's $156, like it's great. California, you know, I pay like what, 10% tax, so it's like, ugh, yeah, there's more. So it's really good to have that extra, you know, little incentive there. And so also it's always good to share with people at a wine tasting, as well as what we do, that, you know, not only will 10% go back to the host cause of choice when they purchase a case or a half case, or even one of our mix packs that we have. We have a bestseller mix pack and our award-winning mix pack that are already pre-curated, which I think are awesome to use as host host kits, because then it's like normally what people taste or what people are shown is what they purchased. And so with each one of those, and when they mix and match if they mix 6 different wines into a half a case of wine, they're gonna, at a party, they're gonna give back to 7 possible nonprofits. So it's really, really good impact. And some people are like, oh yeah, you're right. Like, it's just kind of like flipping the way that the consumer sees it, and how we message it to them as well. So we kind of already talked about the wine club, but it is curated by Mari. And she also does a video that she walks through every one of the wines. So your wine club members will get that video. We have access to that video, so we can share that video too. It's a good little training for us on like, ooh, the wine, all that kind of stuff. She does it by the season to see like what's going on and what wine will pair with this. She gives pairing tips and stuff. So again, the wine club, that's something I always like to use. These wine club wines too is also like the host kit, because I want people to join my wine club, because I want to have residual income coming in and making that impact as well. So we've already been through a lot, but I'm going to go through like, where do we find all this information? Because I didn't just make all this stuff up. There's a lot of this information that's out there. Your CE dashboard through OneHopeWine.com is like your place that you're going to go. That is your resources that connects you to your CE back office, that connects you to the Vine. The Vine is a weekly newsletter that comes out on Tuesdays. So just to go through on our CE dashboard, and I can go to mine live as well. My favorite place is called the Resource Center. So in this Resource Center, and I actually just have this page bookmarked on my my web browser, so I can just click here easily. The calendar and events will give you the information on upcoming trainings through the corporate office. Training and onboarding is something that you can do as a new CE. CE programs and incentive and customer programs and incentives are things that are happening right now. So those are CE programs, are CE facing programs, and customer programs are like the subscribe and save promotion right now, the 30% off, the 15% off, that information is there. So that gives you all the frequently asked questions are right there. Brand communication and guidelines, it just kind of goes over some stuff. You don't have to look at it. One of my biggest pet peeves, and this is just me personally, is that just know that when you're branding OneHope, OneHope is one word. Everybody always puts it as 2 words. OneHope is 1 word. That is your brand. If you're going to be really picky, the 1 is bolded and the hope is not. That's just like a stylistic thing. But if you're making your own little brochure or something too, just try to follow that thing. And when people write it, or if you're writing something for somebody, sometimes like we do stuff on podcasts might contact you directly, or a local newspaper or something. Just make sure you brand it, because you want that person to look at this bottle and connect it back to you. So it's my one little thing on branding. Business tools and management, you can look at. Corporate gifting, you can look at too. My favorite thing is the index. Hands down, the index is my favorite place to go. That gives you a list of all the printable resources. So it will have on there, another favorite thing that you may want to download is called the featured wine list. So this will tell you the wine, it tells you tasting profile, it tells you price point. The little star means that it was an award winner. This is just something good that you may want to just have handy and just print out, because it lists all the wines that we currently have. Because we have over, like I was saying, like 40 wines. They're not all listed in the catalog. And you guys probably all have this catalog. They're not all listed in this catalog because there's just not enough room in there. So there's some little hidden gems on your website that you will notice, like the pomegranate sparkling or the peach sparkling that aren't in our catalogs. On your CE dashboard, this is on the left-hand side, this is what your CE dashboard menu bar looks like. This is where you will open an event. At the very top of the event page, when you click on there, there's a little video tutorial that Carmela walks you through. It's quick, it's easy, it's pretty intuitive. I will say when you get to the nonprofit portion where you're entering the nonprofit information, or you're looking up if you have hosts that have previously hosted and you're adding them as the host name, sometimes that's a little lag because it's connecting to another server, especially the nonprofit name. It's connecting to a nonprofit database, so it has a little lag right there. So just give it some time. Your customer information will all be listed under contacts. Under contacts is where you can also place orders for your customers. Any orders that you have will show up under the orders section, so you can see the tracking on them too. This is where your link to your resources is, and your link to your CE back office. So a little hint, and everybody should go in and create their own event. So that's kind of part of your homework today, is to create your own event. Us as CEs can host as many events as we want. I always recommend to have a link that's open, that you're sharing, that you're trying to raise money for. You know, get your local cause, like preach what you're trying to get other people to do, basically. You can have your event link can be open. If you see, look down here at the bottom, this one is accepting orders until July 21st. This is a school that I work at. So I have this open for them for this half of the year. We did one in the fall, and then I did one in the spring. You can have your event link open for as long as you want. You can change the date. If it's getting close to the date of the event, you want to change it, you can change it. There are certain times when we do promotions that are based just on the month only. So when that information comes out, you'll be notified that it'll be like, oh, if you have X amount of sales in an event in the month of XYZ and it's closed at the end of that month, then you may want to close an event or open up a new event just for that month. But otherwise, so this one is for a school. School's a nonprofit. So I have it open, and I just send out little emails to the parents and say like, hey, you can give back with mine through this link.
Would this be an event, or would this be like the nonprofit ongoing giving?
So everything is set up through an event. So okay. When you go into the event, it'll ask you who is hosting. Is it you as a person? Is it a nonprofit? Or is it a customer? So okay. For this one, I put in, it was the nonprofit that was hosting, Westchester Lutheran School. And then it still has to have a host linked to it. So I'm the host on it. My work email is the host on it. So I get that information. So okay. Then after you set up an event, that's why I really recommend that everybody go in and set up your own event. with you as the host, an automatic email will be sent to you with a host link and some information in there like, oh, let's get ready for your party, blah, 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 like different little hints and tips. There is a long URL. So, and if you're on this event page for this school, it says copy event link. That URL is super long, but there is a short way to do it. And I don't know why they don't have this in the automatic email, but it is the event ID number that you find right under the event. And the beginning, all of them are onehopewine.com/event/ and then just type that event ID 43122 in there. And it's like, boom, that's it. So that's the event link that you'll see me sharing on social that I share with my parents at the school, etc. So that's just a little hint or tip on how to share that event link and make it short one, not that super long URL that they send. You're welcome. I'm gonna drop this down on our team page too, that slide.
So, sorry, this,
Oh, no, you're fine.
just want to make sure I'm getting it right. So we use the word event, we use the word host party, we use the word fundraiser, we use the term nonprofit ongoing giving, but they're all technically, as far as how we set them up, events.
Yes.
And it's only who the host is or how long, like a party event would only be that one day when the party was happening. But for a fundraiser, I could just have that link on for the month of March. Or if it's for a nonprofit ongoing giving, I would make that maybe longer. So those are the ways that you manipulate it.
Yes, very good. Yeah, I love the way that you broke it down like that. And so I'm also coming, like, so I've done this, so our language has kind of changed. So I always default back to it's a party link, it's a tasting link, but now we have the event portal. So thank you so much for asking that question and bringing that forward, because you're absolutely 100% correct. Okay. Everything is created in the events section. And normally, like a tasting, like I'm doing one for another school, I have their school link until the end of April, but we're doing their virtual tasting on Wednesday because it just gives people more time. And then I have a separate Facebook event group going on for those people to join to get information as well.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. The other thing, your CE dashboard will take you to your CE back office. Your back office right now, when you're new, basically what you're going to do back here is this is where you're going to check your PCV, so you can see what your PCV is on that month. It's just one screen that you go into. When you go into your homepage, it shows it right there, your personal commission roll volume. If you're building a team or you have a team, your team reports are there. You can also track your commission. You can shop for business supplies. So anything that's not available for purchase on your ONEHOPEWine.com site, like catalogs, wine bags, we have these different wine bags, we have some brochures, information, you can shop for that under business supplies in your back office. I also recommend anything that can be purchased through your ONEHOPEWine.com website, purchase it through your website, and or purchase it through a party. If it's purchased through a party, it goes towards your host rewards. It may or may not count towards your 10% back, but if it's like a half a case of wine, like right now during the sale, you know, you want to stock up on some wine, then at least it would go back towards 10% to your cause of choice, plus host rewards on it. And you want host rewards because that's how you get free wine. That's how I have 20 cases of wine in my garage, because, you know, well, some of them are that I earned that are going to actual hosts when we get back to hosting, but other ones are because I've earned a lot of host rewards over the time because I have like different parties going on and stuff. So also with your CE back office, when you just pull that up, there's a little tiny purple question mark down here at the bottom. This is to chat with support. So if you click on that, it'll give you some frequently answered questions. You can email support, or you can just click chat with us. And then they have an online chat feature. So if you need to ask them a question, or you're like, oh my gosh, I just placed this order, is it not showing up? Or can you, if somebody placed an order and it was supposed to go through a party, but you notice that it didn't go through a party, you can chat with them and they can move it into the party. Whatever you need to talk to support about, they're there. They're super helpful, and super easy to work with. And then also in your CE back office, once you hit $300 in PCV, that opens your wine cellar. So if you hit it today in 300 PCV, your wine cellar might not be open until like Monday. So it's on the weekend. I don't know if it's a manual thing that they do. But then your CE wine cellar is open, and then you can buy discounted wine through your CE wine cellar. So that's why you want to hit $300 in sales and qualify, because your CE wine cellar would be open this month, plus it's open the complete following month after you hit $300.
So you don't, so that 300 a month qualify, to qualify, that happens every month. You don't
Yeah, it happens every month.
It starts over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All of us start over at 0 every month, and we all start over at Cause Entrepreneur. So like, for instance, I've hit senior director within this comp plan. Most of the time I just end up hitting director now, but every month, beginning of the month, we all start at 0 and we're all Cause Entrepreneurs, and we just have to build from there.
Okay.
So where to connect with other CEs and the OneHope team? Our Facebook groups, the OneHope community page, our Teams in It to Win It group. If you're not in there yet, let me know. And then we have a CE image sharing group too that's linked through our Teams in It to Win It group. We have an annual conference coming up at the end of July in Scottsdale, Arizona. We also refer to it as Wine Camp. For any of you that are new, you probably received an email that says that you can register for Wine Camp for $99, and that $99 will include your crushed case of wine. So right now, I think there's like 140 people that have registered so far. So the first 200 registrants, you get a crushed case of wine. So if you register today for $99, 14 days from now, you are going to be sent a crushed case of wine, and you're going to get some different reserves in there. Plus, you're going to get this really cool little etched bottle that says crush on it. If you can really see it, my face there, but it's kind of cool. It's our Côte de Provence Rosé. But I mean, really, like for $99, even if you end up not going, you get a case of wine. Like
I was gonna say, it's just a way to buy a case of wine for $100.
Right? I'm like, damn, I had to pay $199 because I'm not new, but I was still like, well, it's gonna be good. I mean, even right now, it's like, I mean, and get that wine and share it. Like it comes, like there's good wine in there. I can't remember what reserves were in there, but there's a couple of reserves in there too, and it was like, all right, this is good. Like I'm happy. I'm a happy camper.
Is there any information on whether or not they're planning to reschedule that conference?
No, it's kind of just kind of a wait and see in what they're doing. We don't know. Yeah. So we've covered a lot of information. But the most important thing to do now too is, because we don't need to do a deep dive into every single little capacity. So just, grant yourself that permission to just kind of like, okay, what I have to do is I should start sharing OneHope with my friends. I should, if I'm on social media, like do a post and be like, hey, I just joined this wine company. Like, who wants to try some wine? Who wants to jump on a Zoom with me and let's do a happy hour and let me practice my wine speak with you and share this, People love to help. People love to be like, oh yeah, cool, I want to hear what you have to say. Show when you get your starter kit, like do an unboxing on your social media, Instagram, whatever. I mean, people find people on Instagram all the time. Share with the wine, drink your wine and share it with people. Make a list of, your possible people that would host a wine tasting for you, with you. Make a list of nonprofits, make a list of people that you would want to join your team if you're interested in building a team. We have an amazing sale going on right now. If you want to buy some wine to stock up so you have some, we are still delivering. It's delivered right to your door. FedEx does contactless signing right now, so you don't have to sign for it. They just make sure that you're visually, 21 and drop it at your door. You want to qualify at $300 in PCV this month. Because I think most of you are new on this call. That'll also give you that free host case of wine, and host kit of wine, I should say, which is 6 bottles of wine. And then if you want to do some one-on-one calls, I have a couple of calls starting with people that are just going to be, a one-on-one, so we can just spend a half hour together, kind of drill down on things that you really want to know, and or set an action plan in place and just kind of do a connection touch base call like once a week to be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm at, XYZ. Definitely to do that as well. And if I'm not your upline mentor, which I think I'm yours, Teresa, Lori, I think Amanda's yours, I am more than happy to talk to anybody on our team. If you're on this call right now, you're probably on our team's In It to Win It. And so I'm here and I do this like 3/4 of the time. So I'm pretty in sync with what's going on. So just let me know and I'm happy to talk to anybody. And the one thing too is I want you to explore with opening an event link as yourself as the host. You can also sign yourself up for a customer if you want. I have my other email for my work address is my subscribe and save and my wine club address. So sometimes I have those two because I use one so I can send myself test emails to see what an email will say, or like what my partners, what my host would get. Because if I'm the host, I think you get the 2 emails though. You get an email as a CE, and then you get an email as if you're the host hosting it. So it's just good to kind of walk through that.
I have a question. So if, is there a need to create kind of this customer of yourself, or can I go on and buy wine just through my shop as me and like as a CE, and will it go toward my $300, and will it go toward any fundraiser or event we have or anything like that, or do I need to kind of create a faux customer?
No, you can totally go on and shop for yourself as a CE, and it'll say on there you're shopping for yourself. You don't need, I just created the other one because I wanted to see what it sent to my my host when I hosted it. Plus I work at another school, and that's like linked to the credit card for that school. So it's linked to a different address and a different account to kind of keep it separate. So my work email and my PC and my CE email are different. So no, you can just shop through yourself. As I mentioned before, all of us as cause entrepreneurs are already preferred customers. So it's great. So we get that discount right away and start shopping.
If people have an issue with their shipment or getting, say they're on there and the discount isn't showing up or something, is there like a really easy, clear customer service line that's really good, or would I use that chat box or
I recommend the chat box. On the weekends, I don't think customer service is not open. It's only Monday through Friday. A lot of times, the majority of the time that there's not a lot of problems, but then you can do support. Support's email, if they're not available, is support@onehopewine.com. Also, if that customer is doing something and they're not able, and they can send you a screenshot so you can look at it to see kind of like what's going on. Maybe they don't have the preferred customer box checked. maybe they don't have enough wine in their cart to get the discount. Sometimes that's what happens as well. So if they can share a screenshot with you of what's going on, then you can maybe look at it and be like, hey, what's happening here? Sometimes too, people leave stuff in their cart and linger, and then they go away, and then they need to come back, and then it's like, oh, okay, there's too much, too much lag time in between. Yeah, but our system's pretty good. Our system's pretty good. So, oh, that goes into my other thing. So that was, I'm gonna go into our live like CE dashboard. So yeah, this is like what your back office looks like in your CE dashboard when you go into it. Can you still see that? Yeah, okay. I can't tell. My screen doesn't do, it normally has like a big green bar around it, and it's not doing that. So in your, another good thing to know is that you can promote just your own website. Your website name is right here when you log in into your back office. This is your website. Anything that's bought or sold through that website, you will get commission for. You can just share that link. If you want to share your specific event link, you can do that as well. I always recommend just sharing the event link, but oftentimes you might see me just sharing my Wine with Tracy link as well. I have mine set as Wine with Tracy. I highly recommend that you guys just keep yours. If it's Teresa O'Grady or whatever it is, do your name. It's just easier for people to reference and to remember you versus, me, Wine with Tracy. Mine, I can't change it because if I changed it now, none of my people that have already shopped with me will be shopping with me anymore. So you just gotta that's like the first thing when you're setting up your account. Just keep it something easy. Don't go crazy with it. Don't feel like you have to do a Facebook business page or an Instagram page or anything like that. If you're comfortable sharing stuff on your social under just you, just do it under you. You don't have to do anything else. And again, not that you're not going to be with ONEHOPE forever and ever, but if the off chance that you're not, and then you're going to go into some other business, it's always good to brand yourself, not just your ONEHOPE, Wine with Tracy per se. I can still be Wine with Tracy and go to another wine company or do stuff with wine, or what I mean. Just forward thinking on that business aspect of it as well. Is there anything, Teresa, that you would like to know? I know we spent a lot of time on this today. It's kind of a deep dive, kind of a broad overview, and then we can go section by section later if you would like.
Yeah, no, this was really helpful. I think actually my list of questions all ended up getting answered. So I think it was a good, thorough overview. So yeah, I think all my main questions were answered, and then maybe a follow-up one-on-one call, after I kind of get a little more started. I've created like my profile and stuff, but I haven't, and I made one order through it just to kind of see what it looks like and how it shows up on my dashboard and stuff. But, I'll maybe make an event and kind of see how all of that works. And then we can get on a call to do, more questions, but all my general questions have been answered.
Good, that's good. And I highly recommend that too. And right now too, especially because we have the sale. And just any time that anybody's going to place an order or anything, go in and do a mock order, because you can go all the way through the whole entire system until it says place your order, but then see what steps are going to. It's just good for us to know what our customers experience, order it that way, and then see what it's like when you order through an event. Not really much difference on either one of them, but it's always good. I always say just go in and practice. Like there's nothing better. And people are like, well, how much will this cost with this? And it's like, well, go onto your website, click all the little wines, put them in your cart, see what it is. Does it give you a discount, not discount, that kind of stuff, and you can see what's going on there. That's how I have to do estimates for like some of my clients too. They're like, oh, well, what if I do like 3 cases of this, a case of this, and a case of this? What will that be? So I just plop it in there so I can give them the total. This is the index page that's under the CE resources, and this literally is like the best place to go. For those of you in Fast Start, you can click the Fast Start info and tracker, and it'll give you all that information, and it's kind of fun stuff to hang out or to print out. There is an About Us video too that's really good to share with people. And then if you go into the OneHope YouTube page, there is the This is a Tree video. That's really awesome. It looks like this. This is really good. It does make me cry, like I think every time too. So anyway, I'm going to stop my sharing now. I hope that this was